Am I audible? Yes. I think in the last class we were trying to discuss about storage account and the disks, right? And let me open my notes. Okay. Fine. Disk storage. Okay. So yesterday we have understood that in Azure we can create hard disks, or to be very specific, virtual hard disks using Azure storage account. And there is one more way which we have not looked into, which is called as managed disks or just disks, right? So at the end of the class I have asked you to create, at the end of the whole discussion, I think uh, I have asked you to create the whole Azure storage account. Using Azure storage account, I have asked you to create a virtual machine, right? Yeah. Have you done that? Okay. So let me get into my virtual machines. I think this was a machine. Okay. So in this machine, what we are interested in is hard disks. Okay. So at this moment, we have one disk, okay, which is basically belongs to some storage account. So this is something which we have basically looked into, right? Yeah, fine. And I have also asked you to verify what will be the structure inside the containers. Now, if you get into the containers, there will be a new container that will be created, which is called as VHDs. In this VHDs containers, you will be seeing a file called as .vhd, and this is your virtual hard disk. And that virtual hard disk will be of type VHD or extension VHD, and it is of type page blob. All right. Okay. 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 Now we create a virtual machine with storage account disk. Then in storage account, a container called as VHD is created with a disk of type page blob. Okay, good. Now let me speak about this scenario. Let me go ahead and create one more virtual machine. Okay, I want to create one more virtual machine. Okay, I'll go into the same storage account demo. I'll give some name. Okay, I'm not interested in all of this. I'll just, because I want to verify this, I'm not going to actually create this machine. So I'll be giving it as DevOps. Okay, disks. Now, if you go over here, by default, manage disk is selected. Let us assume that I don't want a manage disk. I say that I don't want a manage disk. When I say I don't want a manage disk, if you remember, we already have a storage account, but it is not showing that storage account in this list. Okay. Can we know what is the reason for that? I think, did you observe this? Did you observe this or not? Disk is of old type. What is old type? I don't know anything which is of old type. No, not really. It is not a HDD issue. Okay. Understand this thing. Okay. Remember yesterday there was something called as, okay, while you create a storage account. Let me go to, okay, let me not do that. I'll go to storage accounts. And then I would say that I want to create a new storage account. Okay. So are you seeing this performance tier, which is standard or premium performance? Okay. This area. Okay. So now whenever you have put your standard performance tier as standard, okay. Now if you come over here, what is the basic OS disk type? Premium SSD. So it will allow only a storage accounts which are of type premium, But what is our storage account? Our storage account was standard. So that's where it is trying to tell that I don't know any storage account. Now, if I go and change it to standard, let it be SSD or let it be HDD. Okay. Right. SSD is not supported by this OS, by this stuff. But over here, okay, fine. Oh, oh, 1 minute. What was the region? Yes. Here the region was this. What is the region which we are trying to select? Central US. Now you go to the disks. I change it from premium to standard. And now if you see over here, am I seeing my two storage accounts? Okay. Remember I said that storage has a scope of a region. Okay. These two storage accounts are present in central US. So I cannot use these storage accounts to store something which is of West US. Am I clear on this? Did we got the point which I'm trying to tell? Okay. So by default, your disk is selected as premium SSD. When you select a premium SSD, and if you say that I don't want a managed disk, your storage account also should be of type premium. But our storage account which we create will be of type standard by default, or whatever we have created is standard. That's where it is not showing. But if I go and change this to standard, then if you see, you are seeing the existing storage accounts. You are seeing the existing storage accounts. Am I clear now? Yes. Yes. Okay. So in Azure, while creating a VM, the disk options are the disk. The OS disk type is by default or is defaulted to premium SSD. Okay. When the OS disk type is of premium, and if you want to use storage accounts for disks, then storage account type also should be storage account. Performance also has to be premium. Okay. If you select standard, then you will have a standard option. Okay. Okay. Am I clear on this now? Right. Why these many confusing options? Yes, everything is because of pricing. Everything is because of pricing. There is no other reason around it. Yeah. Okay. Right then. Okay. So now let us try to understand. Okay. Storage account. Okay. What is the difference between standard and premium? Okay. So for standard versus premium, what is the actual difference over here? See, here we have to understand one thing very clearly. Okay. So one thing which we need to measure whenever we are basically, okay, for disks, two aspects are extremely important for the user. One is speed of the disk. Okay. The second one comes as size of the disk. Okay. One is speed, the other one is size. These are the two important aspects. Then comes the other aspects like, okay, what is I mean, what do you basically try to do when it comes to, I mean, redundancy? Do you want to go with a local redundancy or a global redundancy, right? So we can basically discuss about all of that. Okay, but the most important thing which we need to understand is, okay, speed. Okay, and how is the speed of the disk measured? Okay, this is an interesting stuff. How is the speed of the disk measured? Okay, speed of the disk is measured by something called as IOPS. Speed of the disk is measured by something called as IOPS. Okay, right. So speed of the disk is measured in IOPS. IOPS is nothing but IO, input or output per second. Okay. If you are more IOPS, that means that your disk can read more, what do you call, your disk can read more data or write more data. If your disk can read more data or disk can write more data, that is the basic stuff around it. Okay. So whenever you're trying to basically look at the performance, we have a standard and then we have a premium storage. For the premium storages, you will have more IOPS. Okay. For the premium disk, you will generally have more storages, more speed options. Okay. But when you basically speak of the standard stuff, standard might not have that range of speeds. Standard might not have that range of speeds. So this is a basic understanding which we need to have. The first point. Okay. So premium versus standard, the first measurement difference is speed. Okay. Right. Now let me go over here. Azure storage account performance. Okay. Now let us look into basic stuff of it. Okay. For standard storage, right, what are the different things that are available? Right. For premium, what is it we have? Premium page blob storage account targets. Right. So disk capacity is 4 terabytes, or accumulative you can have 35 terabytes. Okay. So you can have up to 50 gbp per second for inbound. You have, these are all the targets that are defined by uh, Microsoft when it speaks about the performance targets. Okay. Right. Let me go to one more article over here. Okay. Azure storage performance checklist, an interesting article. Okay. Right. So here you might have some code, but if you basically get into performance checklist, it will try to tell about what are the different things which you can basically do with respect to what are the blobs which you are trying to create it. Okay. Let me go to when much more easier stuff. So there is something called as Azure pricing calculator. I'll go to the Azure pricing calculator. Okay. Then first let me go to storage accounts. So it says that I have added a storage account view for you. Then you're trying to tell that, okay, I'm going it with central US. Where is central US? Okay. And type of the storage which I want to use is disk storage. Okay. And I want to store 1000 GB. And what is it costing me? It is costing me $45. I change my LRS to geo redundant storage. So 1000 GB of hard disk will cost me approximately, right, if you do all of the calculations over here, $423. Okay. So these are number of operations that are performed on the disk. Okay. Now, but let us see just the basic price. Okay. Basic price of the disk you are calculated is this. Now let me make it as LRS itself. Now if I go with local redundant storage, I get this. Now if I change this to premium, in premium you'll not have, okay, the GRS option, you will have LRS, right? So now over here, what is that option which you get? Here you get fixed sizes. Are you seeing the speeds? P20, P30, P40, okay, P50. These are all the different premium tires. Okay. So for every tire, there is a size, and basically there is IOPS. There is IOPS. Okay. So what is this IOPS speaking about? What is this IOPS speaking about? IOPS speaks about speed of your disk. Okay. Speed of your disks. So for example, generally disk IOPS. Okay. So if you basically go with the IOPS definition for a disk, okay, IOPS is equivalent to 1. Okay, if you go through all of this, you will find where IOPS is used and what are the different IOPS metrics for different devices and all that stuff. Okay, so right, one IOPS, one IO per second is equals to 256 MB per second. Okay, so if you go over here, okay, now if I say I have one IOPS, okay, so here the block size is 654 and our block size can be anything. Your IOPS is basically calculated on the basis of your block size. Now it tries to tell you what is an IOPS. IOPS is a matrix where you are trying to tell the speed of your disk. More number of IOPS means more speed. Okay, your hard disks are basically measured in terms of IOPS, and for premium storage or premium performance tier, the IOPS is guaranteed. What do you mean? What do I mean by guaranteed? So for example, in Azure, if the premium tier, if we have looked at this option, right, where we have said that, okay, so this is your disk, and in this disk, they have tried to tell that it is 75,000 IOPS. It is 75,000 IOPS. So you can do this rough math. Okay. Now you open this calculator. Okay. 75,000 into 256. Okay. So this is the speed of your disk, which you can read and write, and your disk will be guaranteed with that speed. Okay, so Microsoft will deliver a performance in such a way that for every minute you are able to basically write, okay, the speed whatever you are trying to look out for. Okay, so IOPS means the speed is guaranteed. Am I clear on this? Okay, it is like flat 70% off. So when I say flat 70% off, what do I mean by that? When I say flat 70%, what do I mean by that? So generally, there is a shirt which is a t-shirt which is at 1,000 rupees. When I say flat 70% off, what do I mean by that? What will be the actual cost? Yeah, t-shirt is 1,000. Okay, but I am giving you 70% flat off. Yes, but when I say up to 70% off, then okay, it can be anything. Okay, from the price of your stuff can be maximum discount which you might basically get is okay 70%, but it can be zero discount, it can be whatever it is, it can be zero discount, or it can be whatever discount which your provider is trying to give you, right? So that is the exact difference between standard and premium. In premium, IOPS is guaranteed, But for standard performance pair, okay, IOPS is up to. IOPS is measured as up to. Am I clear on this? So whenever we basically try to tell what are the what do you call what are the different chances of it, okay, then the only thing which you can basically think of is IOPS is okay up to. For example, if it says 500 IOPS, each IOPS means you are able to read 500 256 256 kilobytes per second. Okay, so one IOPS means, so if you are basically trying to now tell 1000 IOPS, okay, then 1000 into 256 kilobytes per second, that is the speed which you might go till at a maximum. Okay, and now one more difference between premium and standard is, okay, let me show you some interesting article about this disk types in Azure. uh, so this is more about Windows disk, but it will tell you the whole story. Okay, I'll basically give you the refer this article. Okay, fine. Now let us come back to the areas which we basically are interested in. Whenever you basically create a virtual machine, okay, manage disk is fine. Okay, no, not this. uh, Azure disk overview. uh, okay, so I think this is okay. So if you see over here, the disk comparison speaks about this. Okay, so there is a standard SSD, there is a standard HDD. What is the maximum disk type? Okay, so which you can possibly get, and then what is the maximum throughput, what is the maximum IOPS? Okay, what is the maximum IOPS? This tells the whole story, right? But over here we have managed disks also, which I have not spoken about. Disk types in Windows for Azure, refer here. But this will tell you the story. This will tell you what it means whenever I select a standard account and whenever I select a premium account. So if you see over here, with SSD I can get 6000 IOPS. Okay, with premium SSD I can get 20,000 IOPS. Maximum disk size over here is approximately 65,536 gigabytes. Here 32,767 gigabytes. Okay, so maximum size is same over here. Okay, and then they try to tell you what is the basic stuff. Ultra disk is for high performance stuff. Okay, it is extremely costly. Okay, but if your application needs that kind of speeds in disks, you can basically do that. Okay, right. And now they will try to tell you for the disk size what will be the IOPS cap. Okay, they will try to give you all the metrics which are available over here. What are the premium disks which we have? Okay, so what are the standard SSD disks which we have? Okay, right. And what are the ultra disks which we have? Okay, am I clear on this? So between standard and premium, the most important thing which you need to understand is standard is, if you I'll go to the standard. So if you see over here throughput for disks, max IO for disk, this is all premium. Now I'll go to standard. IOPS per disk are you seeing up to 120, up to 120. Are you seeing this up to word? That is the first stuff. Okay, now you can go on and on. This is a this is not a storage account, but the story is same there. Okay, right. And in premium tier, redundancy, okay, will be either LRS or ZRS. There is no need for you to do geo redundant storage because Microsoft defines some SLAs for you. There is no need for you to basically go for geo redundant storage. There is no need for you to go with geo redundant storage. Now, fine. Let me speak about, okay, different disks for Azure VM. Okay. So what are the different disks that Azure VM can possibly have? So from there, we will get into the whole story. Okay. Understanding storage accounts, disks is no longer required, is no longer an option, but fine. We need to still understand that there is something like that. Okay. So VM icon. So every virtual machine in Azure, okay, will definitely have, okay, okay, disk, a disk, okay. And understand one thing, this is a disk with operating system in it. So this disk is called as OS disk. This disk is called as OS disk. So along with this, okay, Azure virtual machine, okay, will have disks, okay, can have one or more disks, okay, or let me go with one at this moment, okay. We'll have one disk, and this disk is called as ephemeral disk. So whenever you create a Azure virtual machine, you will have two disks. One is a OS disk, the other one is ephemeral disk. Okay. And then there can be a third kind of a disk, okay, which a user can create, which a user can create. Okay. The third kind of a disk is basically called as data disk. Okay. So in Azure, for a virtual machine, you can have three kinds of disks. Okay, we will discuss about what those three kinds are when in which situations basically no, not situations. Data disk is the only situational stuff over here. OS disk and ephemeral disks are unsituational. Whenever you create a virtual machine, you will get a OS disk and you will also get an ephemeral disk. Okay, so I think, okay, right. In Azure, every VM can have three kinds of disks used in a VM. Okay. The first one is OS disk. This disk will consist of operating system. That's the reason why it is called as OS disk. And then there is something called as ephemeral disk. Azure automatically adds ephemeral disks depending on the instance size selected. So whatever machine size which you have selected, this. And data disk, these are add-on disks added by user. These are the disks added by the user. So we have three kinds of disks. Now OS disk, ephemeral disk, data disk. Okay. Understand one thing. Okay. So generally, whenever we create a virtual machine in Azure, okay, do you agree that that virtual machine will be running on some physical machine? Yes or no? Yeah. So whenever I create a Azure VM, okay, my Azure VM will be created, okay, basically on some physical server on Azure. Okay. So generally what happens in Azure is, okay, you will not have just one physical server, you will have too many physical servers in Azure. Okay. And then your OS disks, okay, it's okay. Let me write it as OS disk. Okay. And your data disks are basically not from the same physical server, they come from a different physical server. So for example, OS disk might be mounted from this physical server, data disk might be mounted from this physical server, but this ephemeral disk will be mounted, okay, ephemeral, okay, or people also called as temp disk. Okay, this temporary disk will be loaded from the same physical server where you are creating your virtual machine. Okay. Now the problem why with this same physical server disk is whenever you delete the VM, you will be losing whatever you have stored over here. But whenever you delete the VM, that will not create any impact on OS disk and data disk. Okay. So ephemeral means a temporary storage. Whenever you delete a VM, this data will be gone. Whenever you delete the VM, OS disk and data disk will not have any impact because they are actually created on different physical servers in Azure data center. Am I clear on this? Okay. So then why do I need this ephemeral storage? First thing is you will not be paying anything extra for ephemeral storage. Okay. How will I know how much of ephemeral storage will I be able to create? Okay. So for that, what I'll do is I'll go back to the basics page. And are you seeing disk size? Okay. All right. Now are you seeing temporary disk storage? Yes. So every virtual machine in Azure, okay, depending on your virtual machine, tries to tell whether the premium disk is supported. Okay. What is the temporary storage which you get? This is ephemeral storage. And how many data disks can you have? Okay. As you increase your size, number of data disks might be increased. And what is the maximum IOPS which you get whenever you select this? Whenever you select this. Okay. So if it is premium, your IOPS is guaranteed. If your disk type is standard, then basically it is up to. It is up to. Data disks are additional disks. So for example, initially you have started with 200 GB of hard disk. Then you thought 200 is not enough, so you want to add more. So what you have done is you have created one more E drive. And then in that E drive, you have created a 100 GB hard disk. The additional disks which you add to your server, those are data disks. Those are data disks. Yeah. Okay. Right. So in Azure, virtual machine size tells a lot about what are the different kinds of disks which you can basically possibly create. Okay, it's like a network disk internally, yes, but that network implementation is done by Azure in some way so that it looks like a disk on the same machine. It looks like a disk on the same machine. Yeah. Okay. Internally, it is like a stuff, but we need not worry about it because Azure gives us in a way that they act as a disk. They act as a virtual disk for you. They act as a virtual disk for you. Am I clear on this? Okay. And one more thing is, whenever you are seeing any instance type with name ending with yes, right? So B1 yes, B2 yes. Okay, S means premium disk is supported. Whenever you are seeing any instance type which ends with yes, okay, that means premium is supported. If it doesn't end with yes, premium is not supported. How can you remove the existing, remove or add an existing data to the drive? Just like how you have added, you can remove in the same way. Okay, right? But do we understand this? We have not discussed about how to add and how to remove yet. Okay, I'm just trying to tell you the concept. Once we are clear with this, we will be doing all of this in action. But am I clear on this? Guys, I want your confirmation. I don't have anyone to look around. Okay, right. Yes. Okay. So AZ storage 9. Now, do we understand what is a temp disk or ephemeral disk? What is a root disk or a OS disk? And what is a data disk? Okay. So I think it is 8. Okay. In Azure, okay, VM size defines, okay, number of data disks that can be added, okay, ephemeral disk storage, number of data disks that can be added. By default, they will not be added. Okay, number of disks that can be added. Okay, max IOPS, and they define something like, okay, whether the premium performance tier, premium disk performance tier, or premium disks are allowed or not. Okay, so here any instance ending with yes, like B1S, okay, A4S, etc. Okay, have premium disk supports. Am I clear on this? Sounds interesting? Yeah. Okay. Right. So we have a disk now which we can create with various different factors in it, like, okay, whether I want a standard disk, whether I want a premium disk. And when I'm attaching this disk to a virtual machine, then it will ask me what is the disk which you're adding. Do you have a ephemeral storage which we cannot add, which is automatically given? OS disk, you will select it while creating a virtual machine, and then I can add number of data disks. Okay, now let me go to my virtual machine, existing virtual machine, okay, which you guys have already created. Okay, and now if you go to this disks, so are you seeing there is an option called as add data disk? Okay, so from here you can add data disks. You can add data disks. I'm not going to do this today, but I'm just trying to tell you that. Okay, so you can add a disk over here. So while adding a disk, you can try to tell what is the stuff. Where do you want your disk from? Do you want an empty disk? You can try to tell that the existing blob, where is your blob, or new disk. Okay, So what is the account type, whether you want a standard SSD or a standard HDD, right? So where is your blob, what is your storage container, you can give all of that stuff. I'm not going to do that today, okay, because I want you to introduce managed disks before I do all of this, okay. So storage account disks have some problems. We will understand what those problems are, and then we will be discussing about managed disks. Why should I use a managed disk over a storage account disk if it was already present? What are the possible problems? Okay, so that is a basic stuff. Ephemeral disk is whether you use it or don't use it. Okay, generally Azure will attach it to you. Most of the people use ephemeral disks to store temporary data of your application. Okay, so and generally ephemeral disks are little bit more faster than your your root disk and data disks, because it comes from the same physical server, right? So for example, if you want to write logs, okay, and you don't want to have that logs, if you want to write some cache, you want to write something which you don't require, okay, when the machine is deleted, you can use all of that. For all of that access, you can use ephemeral storage. Okay, so in AWS, every virtual machine will not get ephemeral storage. In Azure, every virtual machine will get an ephemeral storage. Okay, so tomorrow I'll be starting on managed disks. Once I start on managed disks, we will look into where are these ephemeral disks located on a Windows machine, and where are these ephemeral disks located on a Linux machine. How can I increase the disk sizes? What are the standard and premium options in the managed disk? Why should I use a managed disk option when I already have a page blob in storage account? So this will be our discussion tomorrow. Okay, but today I recommend you to basically go through all of this. Okay, disk storage, we have to speak about Azure managed disks, and that is exactly what we are going to do in our next class. Am I clear on this, guys? So any questions you have in whatever we have discussed? Yes, we will do that. We will do that. So right now, those the page which I have shown is just to give you an overview of what a standard and performance looks like. Tomorrow we'll be creating one Windows machine and one Linux machine, and then we will try to identify where the root disk is, where the ephemeral disk is, and if we add data disks, how do we basically deal with all of that? We'll be doing that. Yeah. Today my intention was not how it works, what are the different options that are present. That was my whole intention. So that's the reason why I was not looking into. So what I'll do is I'll go and delete my resource group, which is storage account demo. Okay. So we'll come back to the storage account once we finish disks, because we have to understand different other kinds of storages. Okay. But one easier thing is, Azure is not recommending you to use a page blob. It is recommending you to use a disk, Azure disks or Azure managed disks. So what are those managed disks? Why is Microsoft asking us to use that? Okay, what are the advantages which I get with that? That is exactly what our story is all about in our next few classes. Clear on that? Okay, so I think I have Azure Storage 9 also, right? Yeah, fine. All right. Okay. Okay, guys, any questions, any other questions which you have? Yeah. How much charges will it come if you upgrade it to? No, you see, if you upgrade to pay as you go, you will not get any charges. It depends on how much you use it, so for example, tomorrow we will discuss what is free for 11 months in disks. So in the same way, every service will have this, but in the Azure there is one more easier way. Go to all services, and then if you click on free over here, if you select this free option, you will come to know what is free for you. Okay, so for example, you can use 750 hours of Windows virtual machine and 750 hours of Linux virtual machine. For example, you can use two 64 GB managed disks. Blob storage, you can use 5 GB of storage is free for you. Okay. File storage, SQL database. Are you seeing there are free? So as long as you are within this limits, you will get zero bill. You will get zero bill. Okay, within this limits. But once you exceed this limit, you will be charged normal. Okay. But understand one thing, if you are just doing our practice in the ways which I suggest, your bill will never be more than 200 to 300 rupees per month. Okay. Yeah. That is for you, not for your organization. For your organization, it will be quite a decent amount. Okay, guys, then. So I'll stop it at that. We will continue this discussion on disk storage, but my focus will be on managed disks because that is where all the money is. That is what Azure wants you to do. So because we have to understand, I've spoken about storage account disks, right? But in reality, if you have very old machine which is created like that, you have to maintain it. Otherwise, all the new machines which are basically created in Azure, no one is using storage account anymore. Everyone is going with managed disk. Okay, right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time. Yeah.